Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to tier list tier list in a fashion, the gold cards from Modern Horizons 2 for Niv Mizzet decks. Specifically, we're just taking the 2 color cards, and we're going to see how things line up. So our rankings here are 60 card All-Star, basically something that will find its way into the starting of a modern deck, modern here really, because we're not covering Pioneer. 60 card sideboard, if it's a selective thing like a Brilliant Hate card that could go in a sideboard. EDH upgrade, could see existence in a Niv deck that I already exist. For example, it might be a really good upgrade to some kind of Niv archetype that you've seen in the EDH play we've done on the channel. EDH pet or fun card, might be something janky to build around or something to play will justify. And finally, No Room at the Inn, where, sorry to say, it might be just something that we just let it go. So let's start it off here. We're going to use this to show our first card is Arcbound Skikiri. My pronunciation is going to suck. This is a cat, 1 red and white for a 0/0 cat artifact soldier with modular 2. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each other artifact creature you control. Now honestly, I think this goes into the pet or fun cards, because I've been jokingly trying to make a multicolored artifact deck, and it is so hard. But, you know, if we keep getting multicolored support like this, it's going to be solid. Alright, moving on, because we've got 37 to do. Atrocious Acolyte. 1 green, 1 white. Reach, lifelink, Outlast for a hybrid green-white. For those of you who don't know, Outlast is pay that cost and tap the creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. Each other creature you control without a 1/1 counter on it has Outlast 1. Straight away, EDH upgrade for the Niv to Counters deck. There's so much proliferate strategies in that deck that this card will slot in perfectly. Next, not even going to butcher this name. It is a legendary human wizard 3/3 with 0 casting cost. As long as you discarded a card this turn, you may play Rakdos Hybrid to cast a spell. When it's the battlefield, search your library for a card named Underworld Cookbook, shuffle it, reveal it, put it into your hand. Sacrifice 2 foods, target creature deals 6 damage to itself. EDH Pet or Fun card. This is a really cool commander for like a lot of people to build around, but I think this might work with the Artifact Synergy deck potentially. If there's token creation food, we'll just see. Moving forward, Breathless Knight. Flying lifelink, 1 white and a black. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if a creature enters from the graveyard, or you cast it from the graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Breathless Knight. I think this is going to be the first No Room at the Inn. It doesn't really slot into the Aristocrat deck, because if it put the counter on the creature that came back, it'd be perfect. But since it just puts it on itself, it's just a big dumb fun card. I don't think it has really any place in anywhere. Captured by Lagos. Enchanted creature, can't attack or block. When it enters the battlefield, support 2. Again, No Room at the Inn. I don't really like it for the 1/1 counter deck, and the enchantment deck wouldn't be interested. Moving along, Carve the Lion, legendary human warrior, 2, 1 black and 1 green for 3/5. Whenever Carve the Lion enters the battlefield or a planeswalker you control dies, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a planeswalker card from among them. Put it into your hand. For the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Planeswalker abilities cost 1 to activate. I think this is going to be EDH upgrade for the Niv to Planeswalkers deck. I haven't showcased it on the channel because it's a really awkward deck, because everyone really hates it. Like, you play Super Friends at this and you get hated on so hard. But yeah, I think it'll be fun there. Chainer Nightmare Adept. Discard a card. 2 a black and a red for 3/2. This is a card already existing from Commander in the past. It's finally been printed into Modern. Discard a card. You can cast a creature spell from the graveyard this turn. Activate only once per turn. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste. I think this might go in EDH upgrade, because you don't run him currently. He already existed, but honestly, if you're not running him, like, I wasn't running him on EDH Online because he's really expensive. But his ability to reanimate is pretty decent. I think also it may be a discard artifact synergy deck. That's good. Moving along, Chrome Courier. 1 blue and a white for a flying Thopter 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, the other one into your graveyard. If you put an artifact card into your hand. So I'm going to put this one right at the top of. Put it at the bottom of. No. It's not a strict upgrade, but it does pet or fun. Like, there's more multicolored artifacts coming into the format that I'm very happy with potentially having. Alright, moving along. Chrome Crasis. 1 green and a blue for an artifact. Creatures you control are flying. And then 2 green and a blue. Sacrifice a token, create a 4/4 green beast token, only as a sorcery. Straight up upgrade. This goes absolutely in the Niv Tokens deck. That effect. I literally run the 4 mana Azorius creature to get that effect, so I'm more than happy to put it here. It'd be a straight upgrade. Dihala's Ploy. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. You gain life equals to the number of cards you discarded this turn, and jumpstart. I think I'd put this at EDH Pet of Fun. Like, I think with the discard potential artifact synergy deck, it would be a piece of that, but it's right at the bottom of the tier. Like, it's pretty much a no room at the end. Moving along, the Dray Creeper. 3 black and a green for an Elf Druid 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you create 2 squirrel tokens, and you pay 3 in the black. Squirrel tokens you control. Squirrels, sorry, you control get +1/+0 and gain menace until the end of turn. So, I think this is an EDH Pet of Fun card, probably at the top end of it, because this basically fits into a token deck or the Blink deck, but I don't feel it's an upgrade. I think it's a solid, like, pet card. Like, if you want to make squirrel tokens, like, I will probably put it in the token deck because my goal is to have every card make a different type of tokens, so I do need a squirrel token producer. But if you're looking for efficiency, I don't think it is an upgrade to anything. Aether Swarm Sphinx. Affinity for artifacts. Aether Swarm Sphinx is a 7, a blue and a white for a 4/4 flying Sphinx with Cascade, and it has affinity for artifacts. So pretty dope in the fact that you essentially cast it for like 2 mana at the least, and then potentially get up to a 9 mana spell out your deck. I believe that this goes in the Pet of Fun card, but at the top end, because you could play it in the Chaos Cascade deck for fun, and it does kind of slot into this artifact discard food making deck that's kind of coming to light before my eyes. So it's all good and fun. Ooh, 2 seconds.
No problem.
Moving along, we have Fire and Ice. This is Pet of Fun card. It's basically already gonna sit there. Let's see what else we got. My apologies. Alright, moving along. We're gonna move a bit quicker here because we've been recording for a while. Fire and Ice already exist. Foundry Helix is another card that kind of fits into this artifact synergy potential deck we have with sacrificing a permanent. I'm just going to skip through because this is going to take longer. General Ferrus Roderick. Protection from monocolored. When you cast a multicolored spell, create a 4/4 token. There's probably gameplay on the channel already of this guy. This is a 60 card all-star. Like, churning out 4/4 for every spell you cast, and he also triggers off Cascade or the Bring to Light synergies. So if you drop him and then Bring to Light and cast a multicolored spell like a Niv, you basically get 8 power on the field. This guy is insane, and you should not sleep on him. He's not going to be like a 4 of, I think, but a 2 of definitely. Goblin Archaeomancer. Spells that are green and cost 1 less to cast. Really coolly designed card, but sadly I think it's just going to sit here. as an EDH pet or fun card. Like, in a Spellslinger deck, he's pretty dope. Graceful Restoration. Return a creature from the graveyard battle for 1/1 counter on it. Return up to 2 creatures. I think this is EDH pet or fun near the bottom. Moving along, we get Grist the Aethertide. Totally cool. Planeswalker, love the design. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a 60 card sideboard or something I will experiment with. I don't think it's going to be great, but it's pretty solid. Lazotep Channeler. Whenever you discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, amass 2. So potentially this one I think is going to be an EDH pet fun card, because we're kind of seeing like an artifact discard sacrifice modular abomination appearing in this line, and it might be fun to try to build that later. Leonis Cryptozoologist. Yeah, this is legit a straight up EDH upgrade. In basically any deck. The Blink deck is where I think it's going to go, because it doesn't trigger on cast, it's when it enters, so you can just go nuts through making tokens. Master of Death. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 2 at the beginning of your upkeep. If it's in your graveyard, you may pay 1 life to return it to your hand. EDH pet or fun card. I don't think we'll see that specifically in any of the Niv decks, but I'm seeing like a surveil kind of put stuff in your... Well, no, I think this guy goes down here. Yeah, because surveil doesn't count as discard, I just remembered. Alright, moving along. Mirari's Wake already existed, so we'll just put that no room at the end. Moderation, a horrible stacks piece, and kind of hurts any kind of casting Bring to Light, so I don't think this will see play really anywhere. No one's going to want to limit themselves to 1 card a turn. Priest of the Feldrites. Alright, this card is definitely probably put it here at the bottom of EDH upgrade. It's not great, but it's going to be fun. Prophetic Titan. It's probably going to be a pet of fun. Like, an efficient deck is not going to need that. But if you want to play it in a Blinky deck, in fact, I'd probably put it about here, probably below the token deck, because I think you would see more play than that. Rakdos Headliner. This is definitely an EDH fun card. Yep, EDH fun. Stick it around here with the discard surveil synergies that we're starting to see. Alright, moving along. Ravenous Squirrel. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Whenever an artifact or creature put 1 on counter. So this is a very cheap, very efficient. It's going to be at the top of the removal spell because it fits kind of into a lot of artifacts / aristocrat synergies. I don't think it's a strict upgrade because of how much you have to pay to trigger it, but I could see it being a pet card to some people. Road to Ruin. This is an EDH upgrade. This goes in the split card deck, one of my personal favorites. Shardless Agent. I think this is going to be a sideboard card. I should have changed this to sideboard / might experiment with. Alright, moving along. Sterling Grove. I don't think that's going to be anywhere particular. That's a reprint. Stormgorge Drake. It gets 1/1 to determine it dies, deals 3 damage to the player. Sadly, don't see that having anywhere to go. Celestian. Harvest Hand. Cast enchantment. So this is a really solid enchantress. This is a legit EDH upgrade. Like, I think this genuinely is a must play in any kind of enchantress deck. Love the artwork. Terminal Agony. Destroy a creature. Madness discard. I think this is going to be a pet card in this kind of Rakdos-y, discardy kind of random deck we're seeing. Moving along. Territorial Kavu. I think this is going to be the controversial one. I think this is going to be a 60 card all-star. Because there's no world where I can't make this a 5/5 on turn 3. And that could be like the Tarmogoyf of Niv. Now, how many of them I'm going to play? We're going to cut a video out soon where I test it out. Alright, moving along, we have Vindicate. Vindicate is sideboard star. The printing of Vanishing Verse and things like that. Plus, the thing, it's going to be good in certain matchups and terrible in others, but I still think it's a very solid card. Alright, moving on to the second one. Wave Shifter. An Evoke Elemental. I believe this goes in EDH Pet of Fun. As investigating is cool, actually. I'm going to put it right at the top here because I cannot tell you if it's an upgrade or not to this. Yashan's Fortune. This is EDH upgrade. This goes legit in the Chaos decks. And literally just pones. I am going to play probably a Mon deck where I try giving this lifelink to negate its damage and see how things roll from there. But yes, that is our Modern Horizons 2 tier list, as quick as I could do it. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you would put any higher or any lower. But yeah, thank you for watching.